Hello and welcome back, Heir of Carthage, or I guess in this case, the Heir of Seleucids here, and we're going to start things off with a battle against some cold cheese here, folks. Yes, cold cheese has stood in our way for far too long, and at Samosata here, I need to fight this battle manually so that we don't give up too many losses to the Colchians when we try and put them on their back foot and take the war into their territory. Appreciate all of you who watched the last episode, and I had told you all sorry that it took me so long to get it out. Obviously, you all were quite forgiving, which I appreciate. It was a difficult week, and we had over 600 likes on the last video without a single dislike, and that is amazing. Now, of course, YouTube won't give me full credit for that. The likes do make a big difference, but they also really like it when they think something's clickbait. And of course that video is not clickbait, and so there's only so much that they're willing to give me for it, but that helps out a whole lot. And I have to say that after a week of extremely frustrating experience trying to make the content for you all, and I'm frustrated because I know you like it and I can't get it out there for you, and that really irritates me. However, seeing that type of response is very satisfying, knowing that you all enjoy it that much and knowing that you are willing to show support. Even when we run into some difficulties, I very much appreciate it. That was extremely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. I haven't gotten to read all the comments. We had over 200 comments on that episode. I'm going to go through and read them all. It's just that my opportunity to record this happens to fall before I've had a chance to sit down and read them. I want to get this recorded so that you all can have some more footage this weekend and we can continue to catch up on this campaign. So yeah, I'm recording this on a Friday, though I think you'll probably be watching it on a Saturday or Sunday, depending on how your schedule works, but I'll be releasing it on Saturday, my time. We still don't see our Colchian enemies, which means they may have deployed all the way back down this hill, which would be a rather large mistake to make. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here for a minute. Let's get some close-ups on some of these units we don't see as often. Here's our Indian armored elephants, and then of course we've got our Ozet knights here. This is a very heavy melee cavalry, our thorax swords and thurio spears, which I do think you all have seen. And then of course we have our thorax pikes, which are much better equipped and armored pikemen that we're going to be using here. Still no sign of the Colchians, so they are camped way back in the back. All my units have managed to regain all of their stamina. Let's continue to push forward. We should get eyes on the Colchians here any moment. Yep, there they are. So they were just deployed somewhat back down the hills. Interesting that the AI would ever prioritize this way. Meaning, like, why would they deploy further back? Is it because they're scared of my ranged advantage? And then if they're scared of the ranged advantage, what good does pushing down a hill do you? So I'm not really sure that I'll ever be able to understand any reasoning that went into programming the AI to deploy down a hill whenever you have a melee and a missile advantage rather than just rushing at you and taking their best shot in a situation where they have no real advantage. Yeah, these guys are going to get shreked. That is a noble blood cavalry, but it's getting hit by a lot of javelins here. It's going to be significantly weakened. I'm going to fold this flank. I'm going to fold it hard. Try and start moving elephants into the vicinity. There are some eastern archers still in the back. Let's target them with our own archers. And that way our elephants can come in here and operate safely. Just hillmen and stuff over here. I'm going to bring my elephants in and try and work my way down the line here. Let's get into the back of those noble blood cavalry, and then I should have some Ozet knights here. Ozet knights who are calling themselves Median cavalry. That's some Colchian nobles. I'm going to fix them with my thorax swords. And let's actually bring our elephants to bear over here too. It's probably time for our archers to cease fire because they're about to just be getting into a lot of friendly fire situation. Okay. We've got this battle all but wrapped up here. This noble blood cavalry may actually get in the way of my charge. I'm gonna actually pull back here and attack the noble blood cavalry. Inspire some thorax swords.
Our general is under attack.
Alright. Our general is under attack, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. He comes in and absolutely crushes the Colchian nobles, which is a very tough Greek hoplite type unit. We absolutely annihilated the enemies there. Antiochus II, our heir here, bringing a massive victory over the Colchians, killing them well over 10-1, closer to 20-1. So they were outmatched, and then some. All right, so we're going to check the settlement. It is Hellenic. We are going to... No, I may still go ahead. I'm going to occupy it. I'm going to have to tear down some buildings here because it doesn't really have what I want. Samasoda, we're going to have to switch the town winemaker. I don't want this temple to Poseidon here, and I don't really need this industry here either. I'm probably going to put a military building here just to try and have better garrison in the vicinity. It would have been smart to do the same at Iconium, but no big deal, I guess, at the moment. There was another Colchian army here. It's a weak one in terms of infantry, but it's going to have more than enough capability to plow through unguarded settlements, so we'll see. The AI could very well go south. They may come back to try and defend their territory north. I don't know how they're going to react at this point. I just don't know. We will see. However, at Persepolis, we gained a big victory over the Sagartians, and then we have the Sagartian capital siege. They came out and fought us. Pericles' Pride took a lot of damage, but won the battle. So we also have the Sagartians on the ropes here as well. However, unfortunately, Arachosia is still alive, and we're having to deal with them. But I have a very significant garrison at Alexandria back there, so they will not have an easy time getting to me. The Roxolani have destroyed the third Bactrian capital at Cath, and meaning that the only Bactrian province left is down here, and I'm going to march towards it so that we can take it off of them. There is some of these settlements here that have Eastern influence. This one does. I believe that's Eastern. We are working against here. I don't have a temple in this province, which would honestly be pretty handy. I think I'm going to tear this down and build a temple there in its stead so that we can spread Hellenic influence more effectively. We have a fair bit of money at this point. I'm going to go ahead and start taking a look at our different provinces. For those of you who are getting caught up with this, I have all of these in a playlist. You should go check it out if you want to see every episode all in a playlist so that you can get caught up. I don't want to spoil anything that's happened before. So if you're watching this and you haven't watched previous episodes, I highly suggest that you get out there and watch previous episodes. But yeah, in any case, we're going to continue to fight our enemies here. We had our fleet arrive just in time to help defend. And we went into an ambush stance outside of Ammonium, and we have effectively lured in 2 Sirenican armies, so we can take our pick of which one we're going to kill. I'm going to kill this one, the Fires of Hephaestos, or Hephaestos? However we say that. Air's not exactly great with pronouncing Greek. It is all Greek to me, as one might imagine, considering that I have no grip whatsoever on the Greek language, other than seeing some of its symbols in my calculus classes. I'm not sure what all these buildings are here for. See, look, our food is way down again. It must be because of something happening. Food is just way, way down. It's odd that we're seeing it, have such swings. I think we were like 80 a turn or two ago, and now it is way back down again. So it's odd how much it swings. And some of people may think that I have way too much, but that is why I have a lot, folks, because we keep swinging a whole bunch on food, and I just have to make sure that we don't go into the negative, because I will start to have troops desert me. I'm going to take Nabatea, or actually, let's take a look here. We can upgrade all the way to the Tier 4 farms here. Or, sorry, Tier 3 would be this one. Or Tier 4... Tier 3. And remember that this one buffs food supply in surrounding regions too, which means I think we would get a benefit from Nabatea. I'm going to go ahead and run these upgrades, but I need to go look and make sure that we're not going to create any patchy factories, because I have been tearing down some structures as I conquer certain settlements, and we'll need to make sure that we don't leave them there, because I do believe we lose food. We certainly lose public order whenever we allow the slums to pop up. We need to rebuild Persephone, and we have not done it yet. Let's build the Sacred Grove here, and then let's convert that into a muster field. Alright. Keep looking. Let's see what we get here. Alright, there will be no patchy factories, fortunately. I'm going to go ahead and improve this to a barracks at BAM, and put a farm in there as well. I would expect we're going to see the Sagartians be forced into some surrender. We have spent all of our money, and hopefully in a good way. Let's go ahead and make our move here with the Griffin's Grace. We're going to be attacking the fires of Hephaestus here. Hephaestus, whatever. It is an ambush because they're in a forced march, so this ought to be pretty hilarious. Oh, I want to see if we can use the burning balls against them. That would be awesome. You don't get to see those very often in Rome. They showed them off, and it like seemed like it had so much promise, but you just rarely ever see them used in the game because those type of battles just don't pop up that often, unfortunately. There's no good hills here for them to roll down either. Well, rest in pepperonis, and we don't even have them anyway. Well, this is going to be a very capable army in an ambush, because it's a very flexible army. It's not like Pikes that require a little bit more rigid deployment. Basically just going to surround our enemies. Couple of them up here. Really not even going to need our cavalry. But if their cavalry does break out, I will have an Ozit Knight on both flanks ready to help deal with it. And then that just leaves our archers here. Okay. That should do it. This battle's going to end pretty quickly.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Their cavalry was not able to break out. They had a lot of pike units, and those pike units are now going to be utterly surrounded. Alright, so the dollar store Ptolemies are learning a lesson in pain and suffering today. I'm going to swap this over to Flaming Shot real quick, see if that'll help break all the morale quicker. Boy, that Egyptian pike unit got caught not quite all the way in their phalanx, and they got shredded by my thorax swords. Lost their general. That flaming volley comes in. It affects my own troops as well, but my own troops have much higher morale to begin with here. And so that was my objective, was to rout them quickly and with low casualties, as we really don't want to spend a bunch of time replenishing. So we only took 47 losses to their 1,161. I will take that any day of the week. So the dollar store Ptolemies sent back to the discount shelf. I am going to take the cash from defeating them. I love using that to further build our own settlements. This Might of Heracles will probably flee, but let's attempt an engagement. Ooh, they can't get away from me. How beautiful. So they're going to get caught as well. And I think the auto-resolve will be more than kind enough to me. Well, I mean, it won't be as good as it should, but we'll take it. It'll be alright. So we got rid of 2 Sirenican armies. Well, one of them entirely. and another, we were able to essentially get rid of it. I can fall back to ammonium, get good replenishment. Now that leaves the Sirenicans hurt. They've lost their little marauding armies here. They do still have this enemy transport fleet here, and it's very tempting to go attack them with this navy, but I don't want to leave this settlement open for them to capture, so I am going to stay here, at least for the time being, until I can push back. Let's go to our army list. Griffin's Grace has a skill or a tradition that we can add to him. I can't improve either one of these yet because their rank is too low, unfortunately. Or sorry, no, that's not. It's a general skill point. My bad. We're gonna go to general here. We were putting authority on this particular general, so I was looking at the wrong screen. Defenders of Olympus. Their general has a skill point. We have not started putting skill points on this general. I do believe this was Hannibal's adopted son, so I think I'm going to go with strategist with him, just, you know, because this is supposed to be who carries on his legacy later on. We could swap him over to the other army that Hannibal is currently leading and have him lead Hannibal's revenge when Hannibal does die. And Hannibal is close to death. Now, we've learned a couple of things on the last episode, which is that Rome is in control of Hannibal's former hometown. And obviously that is quite unacceptable. I think we're going to bring Hannibal, and I'm going to march south back to Sparta, put to sea, sail across the Mediterranean with the help of that fleet. We are going to land and retake Carthage with Hannibal, assuming he's still alive. If not, his son will do it for him. And we will get to that point when we cross it. Heralds of Triton still have their movement, but I'm not going to move them. Pericles' Pride still has their movement, but they need to stay where they're at. And the Sons of Rhea are really just a defense of our Egyptian breadbasket over here, so nothing else that I can do with them on this turn end. We've spent our money, which means that it is time for us to end the turn. Let's see what the gods of Total War throw at us here.
Senseless war can end today, but only if you see
the Bactrians, of course, now suing for peace. I can't imagine why. Maybe because they're so thoroughly defeated. The Roxolani wish a non-aggression pact. This actually sounds pretty good to me because I really don't want any more wars back here. I've had enough for now, and I'm still dealing with this. These trashy Colchian armies still behind my lines here, which is annoying. Not much I can do about that at the moment. Now that I have mostly finished the Sagartians, I'm still going to have to finish them. When we can finish off the Sagartians, I'll have another army to push north and truly finish the Colchians, but for the time being, they're going to continue to be a nuisance. Alright, let's see, Media is moving. Sagartians are attacking me one more time. I have enough slingers that we should be able to finish them basically entirely with our skirmishers and chariots here. So let's give the Sagartians the farewell that they deserve here, meaning that we're going to trample them under hoof of chariot and also pepper them with stones and arrows. Should be pretty entertaining. Alright, so let's get down here. And most of my infantry is in very rough shape, expectedly, after that last fight. Let's put our chariots here. For some cavalry. These other units back safe, no need in risking anything here. Just push forward and get the job done. Give these guys the send-off that I feel like they deserve at this point for being filthy little backstabbers.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Alright, it says they have reinforcements. That's just going to be a couple of units coming in from their settlement. Shouldn't be anything that's of any major concern to us. We're going to get rid of their mercenary Persian archers. Push my own skirmishers here forward. We've got this long grass and a slight bit of wood cover here. Not much. Should be sufficient. They're going to shoot at my chariots. That's fine. They're not going to live long enough to cause any significant damage. So they're going to go down very, very quickly. And I'm going to enjoy it. So that is the end of their mercenary Persian archers. The utter end. Let's push up and get their pikemen. This is where they've recruited yet another general after my having defeated the last one, so they got a full unit of pikemen. kind of an odd scenario how they're able to recruit another general despite being trapped in a siege. I don't think that that should be a thing, either for the player or for the AI, unless that general happens to reside where the siege is taking place. Which may be the case for the Sagartians here, because this is basically their capital. I'm going to start chipping away at this pike unit. I don't expect it to last long. Pike units, even when they do have a shield, are not particularly well protected by it. And then they tend to lack a little bit of the armor and health that you would see in a Greek phalanx, which is understandable. They have higher numbers, and so with the higher numbers, if you also gave them the higher armor and stats, they would be extremely, extremely tough units indeed. They're down to 157 and dropping rapidly. Health of the unit models quickly being chipped away at. There goes the general, and his forces are going to retreat. And this should be the last of their forces coming up now, so let's see what they've got for us. They are hidden right back in the scrub line. And we can now see them. They have got an Eastern Spear. Ceasefire, and send in the chariots. Oh, prepare yourself however you like. These poor pajama warriors are going to be the victim of sharp blades and heavy wheels. They have no real chance of resisting the charge of these scythe chariots. So we're going to finish this one Ben-Hur style. Good old-fashioned chariot race. That is going to be the end of the Sagartian resistance at Harmosia. That is their capital. This will no doubt put a knife straight through the heart of their faction and leave them reeling. Okay, so we are going to, I'll release the captives, doesn't really much matter. We're going to take over the settlement. That was their last-ditch effort to fight me off. They are now in big trouble, so we're going to occupy their settlement. I might should have torn it down. We finished some research, which is good. Athena's Faithful has the plague. That is not good news, as they were currently campaigning in Colchian territory. I'm tempted to just push further into Colchian territory. I don't know if I can. We're taking attrition here, too. It may be unseasonal conditions. Scorching hot summer. Maybe a Magna. Versus, yeah. So it is the unseasonal conditions causing the losses. I want to put Sagartia down once and for all, right here, right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Protective stance. We should be able to replenish on the next turn, so this really and truly should be the end of Sagartia. They have the one fleet left out there, but they will start taking attrition as it's the only thing they have left. So Sagartia is no longer a concern, and it looks like Kura was captured by Media. I'm going to give Media the next military objective here. So let's go find them, and we're going to give them a war target at Aracosia. So we can keep them on the push. This army is going to head north. Pericles' Pride needs a little bit of a refit. They are not really in fighting condition. Build that to a polis. I'm actually fine having the fishing village here. I don't think we need anything different, honestly. I'm going to put in a library. And let's convert this over to the fountain. I do wish to put in a barracks here. And I don't know that we also need a stables. I think I'm going to put in a temple instead. Alright, so we've gotten them handled to a degree. Alright. Let's head over here. We were about to go after the Bactrians' final settlement with our king. And the Bactrians are suffering attrition. Maybe that hot Seleucid summer as well. So it is time for the Bactrians to fight their final battle. And let's go ahead and do this. No need in making them wait for their doom. Okay. Start our deployment. Antiochus has a pretty capable army here. We are missing one of our veteran hoplites who died gloriously in an epic battle a while back against the Bactrians, where we defeated them while being massively outnumbered. Peltist over here to support those hoplites. And let's make sure our king is in a safe position. Is mercenary Persian cavalry poised to support. Alright, we are ready to go. Bactrians should have a decent number of reinforcements oncoming. Fast forward. Ooh. Some of them are coming from behind me. Let's turn around. It's going to be a bit of a mess turning around because my guys are going to do a little bit of crossing action here. Alright, we got to stop because my army is not behaving the way it should, so I'm going to pause it. See the way that they went back across each other? This happens sometimes when you're hard grouped. It is a mess, so you might want to cease that hard group and just give a normal order so that your units won't be crossing back over each other like this. Alright, let's see if that helps improve what they were doing. Alright, it will. Alright, we have Bactrian light horse inbound. And we're now being charged from behind as well. This is suddenly not really a good position for us to fight from. I'm going to hard group here and fall back up the hill. I don't want to end up fighting where I can't protect my flanks properly, so I'm going to have to retreat, and I'll cover my retreat with my cavalry as needed. We're going to retreat and find a better position to fight from here. Let's fast forward. There's going to be a lot of movement here. It's possible we will be suicided by some of the Bactrian cavalry. My Pikes not running? They are running, they're just incredibly slow. Oh, those slingers are going to really hurt me. I'm gonna go do a feint charge back here and see if I can assist my mercenary veteran hoplites. Those are not my pikemen, they're my hoplites. That explains why they're so slow. Those are super heavy infantry. It's gonna be very risky for my mercenary Persian cavalry, but I've got to provide some kind of disincentive to the enemy skirmishers here. These are pikemen, not Thurio spears, thank goodness. There is a Peltist nearby, though, so this is very risky. I'm going to push these guys back. Now I'm going to retreat fast. I am going to take a lot of return fire on my Persian cavalry, but it does at least, let's change our path. I'm going to try and dodge some of these missiles. Doesn't work quite as good as it does in Warhammer. Alright, now we're going to be headed out of range. Alright, so that ended up working. We were able to save my mercenary veteran hoplites quite a lot of damage there. They're going to be pretty tired from having to make this run. They are not fast units. Fast is not what they do. Okay, so at least we are in position. Should get a chance to rest my units here too. Those eastern slingers are still trying to keep up. But my hoplites are now hidden by the terrain, so that's fortunate for me. I'm going to move up slightly into this position. There are some Indian armored elephants on the battlefield. They are a significant threat. I'm going to shift all of my... Can't shift all of my archers. But I'm going to shift 3 of them. Well, I'm going to shift all 4 of them to my left flank, because I have the Peltis to support this flank against the horse skirmishers. And I'm going to fast forward again, let my hoplites get their stamina back. It was quite the run we had to go through there. I'm going to have a counter. I'm going to have a hard counter to their elephants out here. It's also where their general is placed. I attacked them, so the Bactrians will probably want to sit on their duff. Let's push up. See if we can get the engagement started. From an infantry standpoint, we should do extremely well. Our pikes are better than theirs, and better than any of their infantry. Their elephants just shifted to my right. It's not ideal, but I have so many Thurio spears and Peltist over here that we should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my forces where they're at. The archers can help me deal with the elephants from longer range, but the Peltist and the Thurio spears deal more damage to the elephants. And my archers can go ahead and shred their slingers and Peltist over here. Alright, so I've moved up. That is going to put me close to the range of their slingers, but I should still be outside of it with my Peltist. They're putting their pikes into a phalanx formation. I'm going to pull up my Persian archers and try and get into range of the enemy Peltist. And that should get the battle underway if I can start laying down. Yep, so that got their attention. Get into a phalanx.
Commander, at the devil. We await your orders. Ready for orders. Fire spears. Orders understood.
Make a bit of movement here.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
I'm gonna get after their Peltist with my archers.
What are your orders?
Oh, they have a horse skirmisher over here. That is not great. That is really not great.
At the devil. Orders. Ready.
Alright, so first things first, focus their Peltist out.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units. Our orders.
I continue to focus their Peltist. These Bactrian hillmen pose no significant threat to my heavy hoplites on that flank. They do have some pikes lined up against my Thurio spears, though. That is somewhat problematic. Alright, so I'm going to support my mercenary veteran hoplites with my archers by crushing the enemy skirmishing component as best I can at the moment. Our thorax pikemen are now under fire from slingers. Peltist, so I'm going to continue to return fire on the Bactrians. I would like to force the Bactrians into an attack because I want them to come at my pike line. So I'm going to try and gain a skirmish advantage here. Trying not to use any javelins on my Peltist. In fact, I'm going to turn fire at will off so that I can specifically target their elephants. Okay, looks like we have a Bactrian assault. This becoming determined. I need to turn some archers
We
to
have discovered the enemy's hidden
assist me
units.
against the horse skirmishers, while a couple of my archers remain in position to return fire on their slingers. They're going to push one flank. Now, they may pull their pike crap here, where they try and squeeze through my lines with their pikes. Let's put some fire down on the horse skirmishers. The elephants have not made a move for my line yet. Nothing's breaking through my lines at the moment either. And the horse skirmisher's being cut down before it can do anything useful. So the Bactrian's kind of only attacking me on one flank right now, which is kind of an awkward move. I'm going to continue to kill Eastern Slingers while I have the opportunity. And I'm going to turn these archers back in the other direction and focus more on skirmishers as well. It's a Hellenic Cataphract unit we have over here, so that is a tanky unit. Alright, Thorax Pikes are holding beautifully. The enemy elephants are starting to push towards me. Give it to them, boys. Beat them the javelins. Alright, so that Indian Armored Elephant has already taken heavy damage. It's already berserking. It's going to go straight into the front of Pikes. I gotta protect my Peltist here. But fortunately for me, my Thurios Spears are going to get the job done against the elephants. Some Bactrian Light Horse making for my flank over here. Let's shred that horse skirmisher. I'm going to keep killing Eastern Slingers while I can. I want to get my war elephants up here. Oh no, there's still a horse archer back there I'm a little concerned about. Elephants were handled. Let's push those horse archers. I can bring my elephants to bear now. Alright, we got rid of the light horse. And our mercenary veteran hoplites just absolutely tanked on that other flank where the heavy attack came from. You can see the Bactrians are like a wave crashing into like the Rock of Gibraltar here as my army. And yeah, they are just gonna die. Like, they had no prayer. The Heralds of Thanos definitely looking like something that necessitates that name here, as the enemy is just utterly annihilated. They have one Hellenic Cataphract left. That's one of their generals. It's gonna get caught on the hoof here. It is wavering, and I have elephants inbound. Inspire group. There we go. So a crushing defeat of the Bactrians. Wow. Yeah, they took 10-1 plus losses there. They got absolutely slaughtered. Just superior force. They weren't able to overcome it. We could subjugate them, which would be kind of hilarious, but there's really no point. We're going to occupy and end their faction as quickly as we can. They still have those two very small armies there, but there's probably very little they can, you know, accomplish with them. This does give me better garrisons in these places, and so I don't know if I'll need these garrisons. We might, because our Arcosia is still around, so I'll probably leave these here for now. However, I think I'm going to... Do I want to leave this building? I guess we could. We're getting really nice income from it. Some better income still from the gold mine, but before I do that, there's probably other things I need to take a look at. So we have made some significant strides. The question now, what do we do with this army? Do I come back and face Odessa? Do I continue to kill the Colchians? If these guys tear into Antioch or something, though, we're going to be in a huge issue, so I don't want to get too far away from being able to protect Antioch. I think I'm going to come and position myself here to get the attention of their army that's outside. And this is going to be risky to make this build here, but I'm going to attempt it. If I can get some, like a couple of these muster fields built, we'll have significant garrison. I could build more than one. I'll just build one and just try and keep the garrison here better than what it would normally be in order to create issues. Now, that transport fleet did not flee. If I attack them, they very well could flee. But this would be great to get rid of this Sirenican army here. They're going to flee. Oh, they didn't quite make it all the way out of my movement range. They're right here in the Nile Delta. They've got 2 units of elephants, a bunch of trash infantry, and a bunch of slingers. Honestly, the auto-resolve would probably be kinder to me here. I'm going to quick save and see what happens. Because these naval battles, as you all have seen, are really a mess. And so the auto-resolve, yeah, the auto-resolve was far kinder here to me than I probably would have been to myself fighting that battle. So we got rid of the Sirenican fleet for almost no losses there. Wow, that is fantastic. Now we can put the sails to the wind here and head towards Sirenican territory. Means I'm going to bust it right over here, too. This army is so weak now that they really aren't a threat to anything that I have over here. So we're going to be replenishing. So Cyrene is going to be in our sights. This fleet is probably going to be needed to help transport Hannibal. I may actually just go ahead and sail it this way. I'm no longer really going to need it against the Cyrenicans. Hannibal needs to begin his march south. So I'm going to pick him up at Sparta. So I'm going to begin his march back to Sparta. So Hellas was brought back into Alexander's legacy by Hannibal. And most of the original Alexandrian holdings are now again under his control. I say most, it's not all, but it is most. Take a look here. Our spy was headed towards Sicily. Let's see if we can get some intelligence. Lilybaeum is under the control of Syracuse, so the Romans not able to subdue Syracuse. But they are in control of Carthage. Interesting. I think I'm going to take this agent, and it will be a forever long march, but I think I'm going to make the long march towards Rome and gather intelligence along the way. Like I said, it is going to be an extraordinary journey. But let's let it begin and let the intelligence gathering begin. So she'll have to march all the way through the Caucasus and through Dacia. We'll see what she learns along the way. Like I said, hopefully give me some really solid intelligence. See, our fleet picks up a tradition. So I really like the ramming tradition, because I really like to ram with my fleets. That's pretty much the way I like to play naval battles. Big surprise. I also enjoyed that on Battlefleet Gothic Armada, which was the Warhammer 40k based space combat game that was really fun. We need to wait for better facilities to get Pericles' Pride up to snuff. But they do have a skill point for their general. We're going to place it in the Zeal path, which is what we've been doing. Got the Defenders of Olympus here. They have an army tradition, which we're going to put into Siege Experts. And then, of course, this was the one where we were focusing on Cunning, because this is Hannibal's protege here, so we're going to do Tactician. And let's take a look. What else is it that I wanted to do? Oh, my research. We are still working. I'm working on this one to get the Royal Barracks. Our research rate is at 222%, so all those libraries paying off. Speaking of, let's go take a look at all our settlements. I have been tearing down buildings, so let's go double check, because we need to spend our cash on our empire. Yeah, we see we've got an empty building here. At Maracanda, we were going to put a temple in here. Consecrated ground, I should say. I kind of do want to build up that gold mine. That's very nice wealth. If I end up needing the money for something else, I'll come back and cancel it, but alright, there we go. Apparently I'm going to be needing a lot of food. It's like I just can't get enough food. I'll have money for the consecrated ground here. That is a problem because that's going to create slums. We can't really afford. Need a consecrated ground there. Okay. Now we should not have any resulting slums. Sacred Grove in here too. Okay. And we are ready to end another turn. Alright, the Bactrians are going to make their final stand here. I kind of feel like we should greet them with an elephant and arrow/javelin day. Send them out in style. I'm going to use all my elephants and archers, peltis, thurial spears to give these guys a last battle that they can be remembered by. Mostly being remembered for having so many holes pierced into their body that it might be a Guinness World Record.
Our orders.
My elephants here, I'll run around with them. There are my archers.
Spears.
I'm actually going to run the thurial spears out front, and then I've got peltis. I'll bring my hoplites. I don't expect I'll have to use them, but they're slow, and so I'll get them close just in case. Okay, here we go. Let's give the Bactrians a painful end worth remembrance. Okay, our general is giving a rousing speech, no doubt. I'm going to target all my javelins into the Hellenic cataphract general of the Bactrians. Just allow my archers to fire at will at this point. So the enemy general should die early. He's getting one final glory charge in here. He's actually gotten a lot of kills, way more than he deserves. He got 60 kills on that charge, which is honestly obscene. Like, absolutely and utterly obscene. But he died. Okay, let's get you all a close-up of what's going on here. See the slaughter that's happening amongst the Bactrians. I do have to shut off fire at will for a moment. Alright, let's go see the end of the Bactrians. So here comes my king and his additional elephant unit to finish the fight. There's Antiochus atop his elephant here. And these Bactrian pajama men are going to quickly rout.
Our general is under attack.
So that's how it ends for Bactria. Basically a circus. They should have become a satrapy. Can anybody say that I didn't give them a fair chance? I most certainly did. I gave them the opportunity to join our glorious empire, and they even helped defend it by being a satrapy. Media has done so. Sardes has done so. And have we ill-treated them? No, we have not. They have maintained their independence, and they have become part of something greater. Instead, Bactria chose death, and die they did. So Antiochus has successfully re-established Alexander's legacy to the east, as far as the map will let us go, in fact. So he has been quite successful. Looks like the Colchians have sent a small army forward to Hatra So it is a good thing that I came back south. Their army is still camped out at Odessa, and we will fight them. But at this point, I now have multiple armies free, which are going to be pushing
We
north.
are not inclined to bully or...
So I don't think that we're going to be seeing a much more success for the Colchians. I think that they've reached the limit of what they're going to accomplish, and that they should enjoy it in the short lifespan that they have remaining. And short indeed. Me wounded. Bactria destroyed. Alright. We have much to do. We have much to do. Yeah, so the Colchians look like they're about to get shut down by Media. I would prefer to have kept Hatra for myself, but I don't really care, ultimately. It won't be that big of a deal. Hatra did have some nice farm... Well, no, it was Cherax that had the nice farming. Did we lose Cherax? I guess Sagartia? Did someone take... I don't remember losing Cherax. Maybe that's how I lost a bunch of food, because Cherax would have provided such. When did Saba take Cherax? It must have been taken by the Sagartians, and then I lost it or something? That's very strange. I'm tempted to take out Saba, because I want Cherax back. This army is replenishing. They had some losses. I'm going to come up here and get on the road. See if I can fortify. Go ahead and replenish. I may attack Saba. We'll see. We need to take care of the Colchians for sure. Saba will still be there, no doubt, whenever I'm finished with the Colchians. Looks like our flank is secure there with the Roxolani, so I'm going to march all the way to the Colchian border here with our king. And I will try to get there as quickly as possible to help render aid and support. Our plague-ridden army has now caught up with the Colchians. It is in a march stance, though, so I'm going to have to swap that and attack. They have a very, very poor army here, and we should be able to absolutely annihilate it. Okay, let's see here. No adverse effects. Let's start our deployment. I'm just going to deploy right here in front for the most part. Get our pikes ready. These are not thorax pikes, but they're capable. Use my Persian archers to start eating away at the enemy defenses. Then I'm going to leave some flanks. Actually, I think I'm just going to take my thorax swords, deploy here, and then bring Thurio spears in from each of these flanking positions. We'll support each of these. Median cavalry. Put our spare elephant here. Okay.
Elephants ready for battle.
As you wish.
The gods that I may be worthy of my ancestors today.
Wait, I deployed my cavalry wrong. Whoops. I shall fix it. Alright, so we are gonna push in. Bring all of my archers to bear, and let my pikes support them.
As you command. Elephants at the ready.
We're approaching the settlement from all sides. Try and make defense of the settlement as challenging as possible for the beleaguered defenders. Okay. What is this here? Oh my gosh, double slingers. Even more slingers? I'm gonna need this Median cavalry.
Riders advance! Elephants ready for battle! Melee troops! Yes, command! Thorax
Push the thorax swords in. Alright, Medians are gonna have those guys. Wow, we lost a ton of thorax spears here. Or Thurio spears. Didn't expect to take that heavy of a loss.
By your command!
Yours to command.
My infantry at your command! Double time!
Alright, Medians are gonna cut through that.
By your command! Swords! Commander, ready! Yes, commander!
My lord.
Alright, I'm gonna come charging in. I'm surprised how well the slingers are doing against my Thurio spears, who really have pretty good shields.
Cavalry! Pikes at the ready! Pikes! Double time!
Push the pikes forward here.
Form phalanx! Persian archers!
Yeah, let's push our elephants up. Alright, our elephants have gotten into combat. I'm gonna pull them through. Median cavalry. My Median cavalry got absolutely slaughtered by a single unit of Eastern slingers.
Withdraw!
Wow. That seems pretty unlikely.
At the ready! Step forward! Elephant!
Somehow my elephants are taking some damage here too.
Spiders! At the devil! We understand!
I'm gonna pull my elephant. I don't know why my elephants are taking so much damage over here. There's really no javelin units present.
Elephants ready!
Mercenary Cappadocian cavalry has some anti-large capabilities, but nothing that should be insanely impressive.
Pikemen!
My pikes have gotten
Our
out of
general's
formation
under
over
attack.
here.
At the double!
Elephants ready for battle!
What is going on over here? I don't know why their slingers were so insanely effective.
Forward!
And then how are they putting up a fight against my thorax swords back here? Them and what army? My thorax swords are taking way too many casualties back here. I am very confused as to what's happening. This game isn't behaving the way that it should be at the moment.
By your command!
They don't have any real prayer against any of my units here.
By your command! Pikemen! We await your orders! Persian archers! Quick march! Your orders! By your command! Pikes! Commander! Pike infantry at your command! Pike phalanx! Pikemen!
Alright, well I'm doing what I can, despite feeling a little bit cheated here.
At the ready! Pikemen! Pikes ready! Pikes! Pikemen! Pike infantry!
Push these guys back.
Onward, elephants! What are your orders?
Alright, I'm starting to get some break back here.
Onward, elephants! Riders at the double!
Push my armored elephants on through here.
Engage! Yours to command!
Pinch those Hippeus lancers.
Onward, elephants! Charge!
They got back here. Eastern spears, mercenary hillmen.
Engage!
I think we should be seeing a very effective resistance here from these units. We're already getting hit by these enemy slingers, so I better go charge them, because we've seen what those slingers can do.
The battle is turning in our
They
favor.
utterly and entirely annihilated my heavy cavalry very quickly.
Forward! Withdraw! My lord! For honor!
For glory!
We push those slingers back. Try and push here with my pikes.
Cavalry!
Archers, go ahead and push them up.
Orders! Pike phalanx! Pikemen! Commanders!
Just gonna throw some weight around here with my elephants. Yeah, I got 400 plus kills with my general's unit. There we go. Well, they lasted better than I think they should have there. There's no reason why my swordsmen should have taken near as many losses as they did. Those Eastern Spears aren't capable of getting any kills on my swordsmen, really. My swordsmen did win in the end, but in this Median cavalry, that I don't think a slinger would have killed it that quickly. I think must have had some insane missile attack. Because you're talking about a lot of armor that would have had to shred through. This army is plagued, so it won't be replenishing, but we did retake Odessa on behalf of our empire here. But Charax and Hatra still in enemy hands here. So I gave Media an attack order at Aurea, and it looks like they carried it out. So which really just leaves one more spot that we need Media to deal with. So I'm hoping I can get Media to deal with the Aracosans on my behalf, because I don't have the means at the moment to pull it off. Well, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I feel like we had a lot going on. We got a lot done. There's still more to be done. We've still got to finish the Colchians, but we gained a significant advantage against the Sirenicans. They are now back to the wall in terms of what they're going to be able to do. They've got a fleet protecting Cyrene here, but outside of the fleet, there's really just kind of a minuscule garrison. I'm going to get some siege engines prepared while we hold them in a siege here. Then Hannibal is marching towards Sparta, and the fleet is moving into position to pick him up right outside of Sparta, so they should arrive at roughly the same time. And then he's going to sail back to his homeland, which should be exciting. In the next episode, he's going to get underway, and we'll see what happens when Hannibal gets back home to find the Romans in charge, which he will no doubt be quite unpleased with that, and we will see what we can do. Anyway, hope you all are enjoying it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. If you liked it, make sure and push that like button. Continue to leave your comments. It helps a ton. You are doing a fantastic job of supporting this, and I love making it for you. Can't wait to see you next time. HeirofCarthage signing out.